morning, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys homeschool and you're like me, even though it's summertime, you're still into like heavy planning mode for the next school year, trying to close up the previous school year and deciding what worked, what didn't, what you need to change, what needs to stay the same. And that's exactly where I am at right now too. So I actually have a video today sharing with you guys some things that are going to be changing for the upcoming school year and things that are going to be staying the same, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you want to see kind of this homeschool update changes video, then stay tuned. Okay, so the first two things are really more of just kind of an update. I have already been doing these things, but I'm going to be continuing them and kind of digging into them even deeper. And that is mostly just for my oldest daughter, who is 15 in high school. I'm going to be just continuing to work on keeping really good records for her, doing more research on how to create a transcript, because that's something that she's going to need. And, you know, just working on that, keeping really good records so that I have as much information as I want at my disposal when I'm making her transcript. Once my youngest daughter is old enough and she's in high school, hopefully I'll have all this kind of figured out, and it'll be a lot easier to do for my younger daughter. So continuing on with that, and also working on college plans. Even though my oldest daughter just finished freshman year, she's going to be a sophomore in the fall, it is not too early to be talking about career goals, college decisions, you know, dual credit and AP classes, scholarships, all of that stuff. So even though I kind of thought about that going into freshman year and I knew this was coming, this is really the part where I have to kind of amp it up a little bit more. And then obviously junior and senior year, that's when it really gets kind of crazy. So a lot of the classes that we chose for her for sophomore year do have something to do with college or college prep. And I'll be talking about that in her 10th grade curriculum choices video. But that is really just kind of staying the same, but really just kind of amping it up. So that is kind of the update with that. As far as things that are staying the same, we are continuing with both girls for teaching textbooks. I love teaching textbooks. You guys know that I love them. The girls love them. They're actually going to be helping me with a video really soon about what they really think about teaching textbooks. But we love it for math. It's been a blessing to our homeschool. It's been a blessing to me because I'm terrible at math. I can't teach it. I can barely do it. So we're going to continue on with that. And then with my youngest, she's going to be continuing on with BJU, which is the Bob Jones homeschool. For English, science, and then they're both girls are going to be doing one of their distance learning programs for a subject in the fall. So you'll have to stay tuned to kind of see what that is. But we're definitely going to be continuing on with Bob Jones for a couple of those subjects because we love it. Another thing that's staying the same in our homeschool is we are also continuing with a homeschool co-op for the upcoming homeschool year. I take that on a year-by-year basis just to kind of see if it's working for us, if we like it, if the girls are thriving and growing and getting good experiences from there, and sometimes bad experiences. Sometimes that's part of a homeschool co-op. Even though you don't want your kids to have bad experiences, sometimes those negative things that can happen kind of give them a glimpse of what public school life would be like, and they have to learn how to solve and deal with those issues with teachers or other students just like they would in public school. So even though it's not all daisies and sunshine, that's actually a good thing in some way. So we're definitely planning on doing that for next school year. I don't know how long we will be a part of this homeschool co-op or any homeschool co-op for that matter. It really depends on if I feel like the cost of it is if we're receiving a value equal to what it costs for the girls to go. It is a monthly, you know, fee we have to pay. And it really just kind of depends on year to year. We're just going to kind of take it that way. Also with my oldest, as she gets older, she may not have time once a week to go and spend 3 hours at this co-op because she's going to be doing a lot more work in high school. She's going to be studying for a lot more like tests to test out of college classes. She's going to be doing a lot more college class work through dual enrollment. So she may not have the time forever to take that, you know, co-op once a week, but for right now, for sophomore year and 4th grade, they do, and that is the plan to continue on with that. Okay, and the last thing that is staying the same in our homeschool, and I've done this for years, is being really flexible with our lesson plans and kind of how we progress through the curriculum with each girl. If you have watched me for a while, you probably have heard me mention that I do not sit down and do lesson plans at length. I don't plan a certain lesson for a certain day. I used to. I would spend hours doing lesson plans, and then one thing would change, or someone was sick, or we had to repeat a lesson, and the whole thing was thrown off because every lesson after that was basically trying to catch up to that. make up the one we missed and then catch up to the next one. We were always playing catch up. It was extremely stressful for my daughters, and it was really stressful and time consuming for me that I was spending all this time doing lesson plans and then feeling like I was always behind, or if we got behind, all the time I spent planning those lessons was wasted, and it was just ridiculous. So I ditched that method years ago. I have not looked back. It's the best way for us to plan our lessons, is just to take it one lesson at a time. And sometimes I'll, do special like unit studies or something like that, but I do not sit there and plan out one lesson per day of this and then page 2 of that for this. I don't do that. Several years later, that loose method of planning has still stuck. It's been the best way that I have found to schedule and structure our school days. I don't even want to say schedule our school days, but structure the flow of our school day. And I feel like it's a lot less stressful for everybody. That being said, I do like for the girls to know kind of what work I expect them to do each day. I like to know for them to know if there's a certain book they're supposed to read or a certain video they're supposed to watch. So whether you like to plan everything out in advance, or you're like me and you like to be a lot less rigid and a lot more flexible with your scheduling and your lesson plans, I found a homeschool app that I think you guys will really be interested in, no matter which way you like to plan, called the Flexible Homeschool app. Flexible Homeschool app is a website and app that lets you organize your kids, their work, their progress, their attendance, and pretty much anything you'd need to plan or keep track of. And what I love about it is the assignments are by week, not by date. So if you take 2 weeks off to complete week 3, it doesn't put you behind on lessons, since it's not based on a day like August 1st, we're going to do this chapter, It's not based on that, it's just by week. I also really like how in the schoolwork section of the app, it is times per week rather than the actual days of the week. So I could just tell my daughters to read part of their chapter book Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't have to specify September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd. I don't have to actually give it a date. And that's exactly how I like to approach getting our schoolwork done. You can even add YouTube links within the app to send your student directly to whatever website or YouTube channel that you want to. Flexible Homeschool app can be as detailed as you like while still keeping your schedule flexible, so it takes a lot of the stress out of planning and getting work done. I actually have a coupon code in the description box for you guys for Flexible Homeschool app if you want to try it out. And if you are like me and you like to do more things on a website, you can definitely use the website version of their program, or you can use the app, or both. I actually have a coupon code in the description box for 2 months for free that you can sign up and use and see if it works for you, how it works, and how easy it is to adjust to how you like to plan. Whether you like to be really, really specific and plan out, a certain lesson for a certain day, or you like to be really more loose like I do and plan just kind of vague, like a structure. It's definitely a great option for however you like to plan your homeschool. So definitely check out the link in the description box so you'll get your 2 months for free of the Flexible Homeschool app. Okay, now on to the things that are going to be changing for our homeschool. And I've got my notes here. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. The first thing is, and I mentioned this earlier, we are going to be trying out a distance learning program for one of the subjects for the girls. Other than teaching textbooks, we've never done any type of distance learning, online video learning type of course. So this is new territory for us. I'm really excited because, first of all, it is in a subject that's not my favorite to teach. You'll find out in the girls' curriculum videos which one that is. And I feel like it's going to free up extra time for me because I am a busy mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a work-at-home mom. And, I have a lot of things that I've got kind of going on. And so it's going to be nice to have another subject that is off my plate that I don't have to teach. But I can still monitor what's going on. I can still look over her work. I can still see what she's learning, each girl's learning. But I'm not having to be the one to teach it or anything like that. So that is really exciting and a change that's coming up that if it works out, we may add to that more as the years go on. Not completely. I don't ever really want to be all online. I don't want the kids to have all of their subjects online because I just don't want them on the computer that much. But I do feel like it's definitely an option that may be something we can look into doing a couple more subjects in. So stay tuned for that. But for now, that's a change that's coming up for homeschool in the fall. Another thing is just working towards more independence for my 4th grader. It is hard to believe that my youngest is the same age that my oldest was when we started homeschooling. My oldest was in the middle of 4th grade when we pulled her out of public school and started to homeschool her. So she was 9, maybe 10 years old. My youngest is 9. So, she's around that same age. That's hard for me to believe. And it's just getting to the point where, even though I realize in 4th grade they still need a lot of help, they are getting older. She can read. So definitely she's a lot more independent in that way. And I really want to work on that with her, being independent a little bit more, being more responsible for your work, turning things in, which both girls do pretty well. So that's just something we're going to continue to work on for 4th grade. Also, like I mentioned earlier, with my oldest daughter being in high school, the times are coming when I'm going to have a little bit less choice in what we do for curriculum. I'm not going to say yet because I don't think it's going to affect anything for sophomore year, but definitely junior year and senior year, it is very, very likely that some of the classes she's going to be taking are going to be college classes for dual credit, and that means that I'm not going to get to pick her curriculum for certain things. That's kind of a shame because I think that's one of the joys of homeschooling, is getting to pick the curriculum that you want your children to use or what works best for them. But that is something that's coming. So that's a little bit different and kind of a hard pill to swallow as a control freak / homeschool mom. I like to kind of be the one to say, what we're doing and when we're doing it, but that is a change that is on the horizon for her. And then another thing I really want to be a little bit more conscious of for the upcoming school year is taking more breaks or taking longer breaks. I'm very strict pretty much with our breaks because I don't want to be homeschooling all the way into May and June. I like to be done by the end of April because we always go to Disney in May. So I like for our school year to be over in April, no loose ends or anything hanging out, because I like to go on vacation in May and relax and not have to come back and do school and do a bunch of stuff. Yes, I'll have to plan for the next year, but you know what I mean. And I just, by April, I'm done. I'm burned out. And this past year, I just really got burned out really towards the end of the school year. So I want to be a little bit more flexible with our days off, and even if that means starting the school year a little earlier, maybe a week or so earlier than we typically do in August, because I would rather start the school year early than have it go longer. And if I do that, then we'll have a little bit more wiggle room in the school year for breaks and things like that. That is my thought on breaks and things like that. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but I just want to be a little bit more flexible with the days we have off, just to try to keep everybody from getting so burned out. So those are my changes, updates, and things that are staying the same for the upcoming school year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to take a look at the Flexible Homeschool app website, definitely check out the link in the description box. It'll take you to the website, and I'll have that coupon code for you if you want to try it out and see how it works for you and your family. I think it's just a great way to organize your homeschool year, whether you want to be very specific or very vague like I am. I think it's a great option for however you like to plan. So definitely check that out. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to also check out my homeschooling playlist in the description box. Every homeschooling video I've ever made is in that playlist. So there's tons of those to look over, lots of information, curriculum reviews, and things like that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.